You're watching betsafe.com. It's the Merseyside Derby this weekend. We are talking Liverpool and Everton. With me is Jason McAteer and Tony Bellew. Lads, should we review the weekend first? Do you want to kick off with Liverpool 5-1?
Bit of a mismatch, to be honest, isn't it?
It is a mismatch.
After you didn't ask me to fight them.
Just to explain, there's a lot of security in and around the perimeter here, and if it does go off, and we hope it doesn't, guys, if we can just...
It's a mismatch, mate. His team are scoring about 20 goals a game, and my team are conceding 10 a game, so...
He might be quicker than you on his feet, but anyway. So,
I don't know about that now.
5-1. Worthy winners?
Liverpool,
yeah.
Last weekend.
Yeah.
I thought he flattered them a little bit. I worked the game. I thought, 5-1, Chrissy Houghton, who is a friend of mine down at Brighton, the manner in which the goals were scored, two quick ones in succession. There was a deflected one as well, and then the wall, Coutinho goes under it. It was a bit of a gamble. So I think 5-1 flattered them, but I'm not taking any away from Liverpool. I think they deserve the 3 points, but it just keeps ticking over and keeping that momentum going into the big one at the weekend. It's something that we always look forward to.
That Coutinho free kick, Andy Gray's been talking about that for years, hasn't he? Just hit it hard and low, and they'll all jump.
It's a gamble, and I think if you look at the footage, Milner actually goes over to him and just has a little word in his ear. But my experience of being in a wall is like someone leads the wall and they'll tell you whether to jump or not. So, whoever's in charge of the wall has obviously decided to jump. They've read the situation and he's gone under the wall. He got enough pace on it, done the keeper. So yeah, it was a decent goal, but it is always a gamble when you go on underneath the wall. You wouldn't have let that in. But let's talk about Everton 2-0, Huddersfield. But you can only beat who's in front of you, and Rooney.
Yes, we've played two battles of not too good stuff in the last coming weeks. We're coming up against probably the second best, or maybe the best attacking, quartet in the whole of the league. Besides, the only team I can see comparing with Liverpool going forward is City. The likes of Aguero, Sane, Silva. It's just quality out now, but Liverpool have it in a different kind of way, with pace, with power, with everything they've got. That Salah is just having a laugh. He's just scoring goals for fun. Then you've got the quality and class of Coutinho, the work rate of Firmino. They don't have an out-and-out striker, Liverpool, where the City have Aguero up top and he just does the damage, the gunman, he's just constantly at it. But with Liverpool, it's coming from all different places, and I wouldn't even mind, is Mane even playing? Because I know he's missing games, he's in and out, and for me, he was their most important player last season, but now Mane, he's flitting in and out, whether it's injury or whatever it is, but going forward, Liverpool are a frightening opposition, whereas at the back, they're about as vulnerable as us, so I think I'm expecting about a 2018 scoreline. But the only thing is, I don't know who's going to score 18 goals for Everton. Waz has been fantastic these last two games. The thing is with Wayne now, he's not an out-and-out forward anymore, and that's just plain to see. And he's dictating and commanding the games from the centre. He tracks back, he's in the middle, he's creating so much, and he's taking defenders away for other guys to make runs. But the thing is, we haven't got that forward who penetrates and gets in behind. Calvert-Lewin is trying his best, but he just needs a bit more time, a little bit more experience before he goes to that next step. I really do think that.
You are Lukaku light still, aren't you?
Oh, listen, when a team like Everton Football Club has a 25 league goals a season hitman like Romelu Lukaku, the minute he's done that one season, let's just be totally honest, he's not going to be there the next. And if that's been the case with Romelu, I think the season before he got about 15 or 16, and then the minute he hits over 20, he's going. That's just, you're not going to be playing for Everton Football Club when you're scoring 25 league goals a season. We've got to accept that. What's not acceptable is not having a ready-made replacement when he's going. You've got £100 million there, and I'm not saying you can replace Romelu Lukaku with one man, because you can't. And anyone who's going to score anything more than 10 league goals or maybe 15 league goals isn't going to be joining Everton Football Club. They're going to be joining someone higher up the ladder. But we should have went in there and maybe took a gamble on two. Go and take Inacio from City. Go and take another one from somewhere else. Take a gamble on someone like Boney, someone who's proven Premiership forwards who can score goals, solid, hold the ball up. We haven't gone out there, mate, and got a big forward. No disrespect to Sandro, the lads we've signed, but these are not proven Premiership players, and you cannot expect a young lad from Spain coming in, adapt and start scoring goals in the Premiership immediately, especially one as young as him. So it does need a dressing, we need a forward, but Big Sam's there now, and we've just got to get behind him.
And little Sam.
Yeah,
It's funny what you were saying there, because if you look at Everton, and you're perfectly right, they sell Lukaku, which is a shame really, because 3 or 4 years down the line, that's the kind of player you're going to be attracted with the stadium you're in, the money you've got,
hopefully,
with that direction you're going. The kind of Lukaku you're hoping would stay. He's just come a little bit too soon, and I agree, when you score that amount of goals, he's going to go elsewhere. Yeah. But where your deficiency lies this season with not replacing him, and I totally agree with you, Liverpool's is very similar in the fact that, you know, he let Lucas go, who was cover for centre half. He let Sacco go, who was cover for centre half. You know, we put all his eggs in one basket trying to bring in Virgil van Dijk. It didn't happen. The window shut and left us really short. Doesn't really fancy Lovren and Matip, otherwise he wouldn't have gone for Van Dijk in the first place. He was left with these two plus Klavan, who's not your regular starter at all. He's going to fill in now and again. And it's left us really light at the back, and that's where Liverpool's deficiency has been. You know, this harmony at the back, this consistency, certainly between your keeper and your two centre halves. That's not been there again this season, and that's what's caused us problems. So whereas Everton's deficiency is a man scoring the goals for them, ours is letting them in the other end. So like, it makes for a fascinating battle.
Like Jay said, now our deficiency last season was not scoring goals, it was just defending. Now it's all of a sudden we're leaking goals for fun now as well, and we're not scoring. So our strongest part is our midfield. We've got, in my opinion, the best box-to-box player. No saying that. Only Kante, I would say, is better than Idrissa Gana Gueye. For me, Idriss has been a revelation, and I've said this.
The player saw him at Villa.
Mate, he's absolutely fantastic. Last season, he was the player of the season, and I know everyone's going on. Romelu scored 25 goals. I expected Romelu to score that many goals because I knew he'd get that many chances. What no one seen coming was the impact that Gueye would have, and he's been phenomenal, mate. And once again, on Saturday, for me, I was at the game. He's the difference every time. He's just he's box to box. He's winning balls. I think he's got the highest amount of tackles in the whole of the Premiership this season. He's just brilliant at what he does. So the sad part about us is we're now struggling at the back, and we've just brought in one of the highest rated English defenders in the game in Michael Keane. And you know, we've got Ashley Williams, the Wales centre back, and we've got Jags, who I still think is one of the top defenders at the club. So I don't know what's going on, but one thing I do know is Sam Allardyce will have them drilled. Sam Allardyce will have them drilled, mate, and that defence will become tight again. How long is it going to take? I don't know, mate. I'm praying it's going to take a few days and Sammy Lee and Sam Allardyce can work the magic. Yeah, I'm hoping he can work the magic and the defence tightens up really quick, because you just need to get regimented again and have a plan to follow, because ultimately it's looked like the lads who are playing together who don't know each other at the back. One centre half's up there, the other one's down here. You know, we're missing our best fullback. Seamus Coleman, for me, is the best right back in the league. It's
changing systems though, isn't it? Your manager's changed all of a sudden. He's telling you to do this. Big Sam comes in and goes, forget that. And
Big Sam's going to go back to the drawing board, mate.
Yeah, of course he is.
The first thing, the basics, and he will look at your start from the back and you go forward slowly and progressively. So if we can just tighten up that back, and make no mistake, we've got quality defenders. Leighton Baines is a brilliant left back. You know, take your pick of the three. Keane, Williams or Jagielka, the three quality centre halves, and then you've got Seamus Coleman, the best right back in the league, possibly one of the best right backs in Europe when he's on his day. Fantastic. So we get them players back, Everton defence will tighten up, and you know, we add this forward. I do think we'll get goals. We've got creativity all over the park. What's the one thing we have got in the midfield area? We do not lack creativity. We've got Waz, we've got, you know, Schneiderlin's a quality player, we've got Sigurdsson, we've got players who can do damage with a killer pass. It's just we need someone to play that killer pass to.
Talk about the Rooney goal before we move on.
The halfway line.
Halfway line. Is that one of the best you've ever seen or not? I mean, you mentioned it was fluky. I'm joking.
I never said it. In fact, I've not even commented since. I've not been asked about it since it happened. I've got to be honest. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because he's got that in his locker. I mean, Wayne is, you know, he's been an absolute talent, hasn't he? His whole career. You know, and the goal against Manchester City is probably the best goal he's probably scored. But that, technique-wise, there's not a lot of players that can do that. And so when it fell to him, you just knew he was going to do it, and the execution was just perfect. So as good as the goal was, it didn't come at a great surprise. If it had been Michael Keane or someone else like Williams or someone in there, I'd be like raving about it. Yeah.
I don't mind if everyone was raving. He completely missed the crossbar.
And unfortunately, it fell to Wazir, and I think everyone just expected him just to hit the target and score. So it took it away a little bit, the edge of it, but it was because it was him. Yeah, but it was I can't say how good technical it was. It was just like a 3-iron, wasn't it?
For me, I'm not shocked at all. To be honest, I'll tell you quickly now. As a kid growing up and watching Waz from the very, very start, I went to a game. He was 15 or 16, they were warming up, and it was just before they were about to come in. So as they've all done the one, they're coming into the tunnel, there was a ball left on the halfway line where it meets the sideline. So this T-junction here, there's a ball there. And I'm not joking, he was a child, and he just walked back. He said, seen a ball, and he thought, oh, I'll just hit that. Mate, he hit this ball and from the halfway line, and he didn't just hit it. He put his foot through the ball and it went straight into the top corner of the goal, the Gladys Street. And that was before the game went off. And it was like, when it went in, never touched the floor, not just like a bullet, right in the top corner. And all the crowd, hey, and cheered. And he just went, like, he was embarrassed that he'd done it. That's the ability. That was a 16-year-old kid doing that. Yeah. And you know, it doesn't surprise anything this kid can do. For me, he's the most talented player this country's seen since Paul Gascoigne. His ability is just frightening. He can do anything he wants. I think it's a bit tougher for him now as he's getting older to play the game that he's used to being playing box to box and, you know, charging down defenders, running this way, running that way. I think he's becoming more reserved and a better player. His passing is fantastic. His vision is brilliant. I just want to see him play it every week. Like, I put that on my social media straight away when he scored that goal. This is why Wayne Rooney has to play every week, because no one in our team can do what he does. There's very few players in Britain that can do what he does, so, you know, he's got to play every week.
Yeah, I disagree with him, Nick. I don't think Wayne can play every week now. I think he needs to manage himself. I think he's at that age, you know, the game.
Could he play all the league games though?
Kevin Phillips used to say,
I
would agree with that. I'd definitely like drop him in and out of the cup, drop him out of the cups and try and play him as much as you can in the league.
The Europa League's gone now, so I wouldn't have him in that.
So as an impact player though, is that what you're talking about?
I think coming off the bench to have an impact. Yeah. It's whether Wayne in his head, because I mean, we were talking off camera before about, you know, for Zachley and stuff, and Scouts was growing up and playing football. It's such a shame because he's probably the last one of the street footballer in, you know, you just don't make them like that anymore.
Jumping for goalposts.
And always out in the streets, you know, back kicking a ball and all that. That's where he grew up and that's where he learned his trade. That's why he's become, you know, the player he is, because of the natural ability he's got from his early days. But it's just unfortunate that age catches up with us all, doesn't it? And it's caught up with him. And
time waits for no man.
He's not as mobile, he's had to drop deeper. But certainly in certain games, bring him off the bench and make an impact. And then there's other games, I think Sam will look at him, I think against the lesser teams in the division, where he can have an impact from the beginning and then maybe bring him off after 70 minutes. So he needs to be managed, and I think he's got the right manager to manage Wayne Rooney.
Liverpool definitely got the advantage recently in the derbies. I think we're going to have disagreements here, but
you say that, right? And I've played in quite a few derbies, right? There's no form going into the derby.
I agree with
Tony will tell you. The form book goes out the window. It's just one of them unique games that like the crowds are up for it. I don't even think I never won a derby. I think I played 6 or 7, never won one. Even at Anfield, I played quite a few. Chelsea's done it a few times, and you know it's just one of them games. The atmosphere is intense. It's not nice. The build-up, for some reason, seems to be a lot longer than a normal league game. You know, the bragging rights, the passion that goes into the fixture, it's just phenomenal. And it's a horrible game to play in.
City comes to a standstill.
It really does. Yeah. You love Anfield, don't you? You wouldn't even sit on a red seat last season.
Mate, you know what?
It comes out with a rash.
We had to cover the seat.
It's a rash. It's got to go to the doctors.
Mate, it's a horrible place to go to. It really is. I've been embarrassed there.
Now, say what you're thinking, Tom.
It's just a horrible place to go to, mate. I've been embarrassed there too many times. One thing I'll say, Jay's 100% right. I actually prefer it when Everton are playing not so well. When we're at a bad time and they're playing at the best, I prefer playing them then, because nothing's expected. There's no pressure on the lads. Too many times, like going into the cup semi-final, Everton have been flying, beating everyone, getting good results, and then all of a sudden we come against Liverpool, they're playing mediocre, and then they tank us 4 or 5-0. I was there, mate. I've been there many a time. I've watched the Gerrard derby where he scores that trick and he's laughing at us. I was there at Goodison Park when he ran past with his tongue out down the line. I've been there on all the occasions, mate. I don't really miss these games. But I don't know. half of me says this time, I'm not expecting to win, I'm not expecting any kind of result because Liverpool are just in such free flow on the scoring going forward at the moment, so I'm a bit nervous with that one. But then another side of me is thinking, if anyone can get a result there, it's Sam Allardyce, mate. I'm telling you, because I know people don't like this expression of parking the bus and all that stuff. Everton won't do that because they can't do it. Not against Liverpool.
Fans won't let him, will they?
It's not that they won't let him. Liverpool have too much pace, so you can't park the bus because, mate, they will get in behind you. The quality that they have in the likes of Coutinho. Coutinho can pick a pass, mate, out of anything. The man just, he's a genius, he really, really is. He's a little magician. But we're going to have to show Liverpool's weaknesses in this game, and the only weakness Liverpool have is getting at them. So something's going to give. I mean, I don't know how we're going to defend them. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm praying Sam's ethos is come across against the players. Sammy Lee's there now, which the fans have made a big deal out of, which I'm all for. I don't care who comes in and who works. I want the
you've
best.
Defended him, haven't you?
I want the best staff, mate. And Sammy Lee is a brilliant coach. I don't know one professional player who can say anything bad regarding Sammy Lee. I've met Sammy a few times when we've had a bit of banter and stuff like that. He's a good fella, and every single player who's been coached under him, I think, will tell you the same. He's a good coach. Sam Allardyce is a good manager. You don't get the England job if you're not a good manager. You know, whatever happened with England, but Sammy Lee's a good coach, mate, and let me tell you, if Everton score a last minute winner, you'll be off that bench running around, mate, and Sammy Lee will be the first one off that bench screaming, jumping, celebrating, just as Duncan will, just as Big Sam will, and hopefully just as Klopp sitting there crying. That's what I'm hoping for.
You won't, will you?
No, I won't. I think what they've got, I think having lost the manager, unfortunately it didn't work out for Unzi. I think what they've got is this bounce effect where the new managers come in, they've had a couple of good results, there's a feel-good factor around the place. You know, when you're in that mindset of losing, I mean, Tony say confidence in sport, in whatever it is, game, my game, golf, whatever it is a massive part of the game. And just the confidence levels have been raised a little bit with the performances, plus the new manager coming in. And I think what they've got is a manager who knows how to set them up in this kind of fixture, but you've also got an assistant manager, coach, whatever Sammy is, who knows all about this fixture and knows what to say in the dressing room, knows how to get the lads ready for this fixture, so they're not going to go into it cold, they're not going to go thinking, oh, this atmosphere, this game, this, you know, Sammy Lee will be preparing them in the right manner. So you've got that thrown into the mix as well. But you know, I think there's two ways of playing football. I think you play to win, or you play not to lose. And I've just got this feeling that a good result for Sam Allardyce will not lose this game. You know, he won't want to take every defeat, and he certainly won't want to lose it, but he'll take a point. It'll be a really good point, certainly away from home, certainly where Everton are at the minute, they would take a point. And I think that's how we'll manage the game. The plus point for Liverpool this season is Jurgen Klopp has experimented with a couple of formations. We've gone 4-1-1, we've gone 3 at the back. We've also got our strongest probably position formation. You'd probably look at a 4-3-3. And what he's done over the last probably 3 or 4 games is he's rested the big players. It's been a gamble against Chelsea. Yeah. It was a gamble at the weekend. It was a gamble against Stoke. He left Salah out. Mane's been left out for a couple of games, but it's paid off. You know, he's got the results. He's got players who are rested and looking forward to getting into this game, who are ready to go. And you've always got one of their keepers. Because that could happen, can't it? I have a question. So, Jay, you've played under many different managers. Is it a big difference when a new manager comes in? Are you all trying to prove to him that you're going to be featured in his plans? Yeah, that's the big thing. I think if a manager buys you and brings you in, then there's that element of security about it. But when that manager goes, that goes with it. And then a new manager comes in and you're thinking, how's he going to play? You know, does he fancy me? Has he heard things in the past? You know, he knows about me because he's an English manager. All them things come into play. So what that does as well is that heightens the players, you know, minds to think, you know, I need to. I've got to show. So training all of a sudden goes up a notch. And everyone's like firing and training and stuff. And I just think it's a really good appointment. I mean, I'm speaking to Sam, funny enough, about 3 weeks ago. We were over doing some work in Qatar, and he come out to do a little bit of work, and he was talking about, you know, Everton getting in touch and stuff, and he was really, you know, his eyes lit up. It was a project he really thought he could do something. And I think, as much as Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool are a good match, I actually think they're a good match, Sam Allardyce and Everton. I hope so. I really do. I hope so. I think the biggest thing in this game is
Liverpool are at home, and I don't think Liverpool are the best team at home, because when teams sit against Liverpool, they have a bit of a problem breaking them down. It's when they go away from home, Liverpool are just outstanding. When they go away from home, teams are expected to get something. So if this was at Goodison, I'll be honest, there'd be a chance I might not go. I might just sit there or just do this while I'm watching. But at Anfield, the onus is on them to come at us. So where I said before, Everton can't sit and park the bus. No, they can't. But they're going to get so many openings themselves, little things that'll go wrong, because there's, without a shadow of a doubt, I think Liverpool's defence, when you get to the top four, Liverpool's defence is alarmingly bad. I mean, the mistakes are bad. Don't get me wrong, I can't talk in a glass house, but I mean, we're not defending well anyway. We're in the bottom, well, we was in the bottom four. Now that we're out of there, if anyone's going to go to someone like Anfield, you'll go. If any team in the Premiership is going to Anfield, the manager's going to sit there and go, listen, we're going to get a goal in this game. I don't know how many you're going to concede, but you are going to get one. If you can hold them out and do what you can, you will get chances at their end because of mistakes. But
it's funny because it's great that you got Tony in to talk about it, because if it was a boxing match, like, Everton can't go toe to toe with Liverpool.
No,
you can't go expansive, loads of space on it. You can't go toe to toe, and he'll tell you. You know, you might come up with someone who's, you know, was a better boxer than what Tony is and something, and all of a sudden he's got to like manage the first few rounds where he's got to stay in the fight, he's got to like work things out, he's got to like draw him into something. And I think like Sam Allardyce is that kind of manager. He'll know for the first 30 minutes, you're going to have to keep this tight. You know, we can't go toe to toe. We've got to keep it. And then all of a sudden, as the game opens up a little bit, you might get chances. I
think the only team that can go toe to toe is City. With Liverpool. I don't think even United. I don't even think United, unless United played Zlatan and Romelu.
But he wouldn't do that.
No, he wouldn't. That's not his game.
He didn't. He did at Anfield. Mourinho come to Anfield, spoilt it, went away with the points he wanted.
Let's put our money where our mouths are then. Where's lucky £5 each? Where are you going to put it? How's it going to be won or lost?
Okay, you're asking me what I think's going to happen or what I'll take.
You're asking his head on the heart.
Yeah, that's the best thing. If you're asking me head on the heart.
I'm talking money, hard-earned money.
Okay, money, I will go for 1-1. I will go for 1-1. I think Everton will be leading.
1-1 to Everton.
Mate, if it ends 1-0, it will be 1-0 to Everton. It's a massive victory. If we can get anything at Anfield, it's huge, mate, because I've been used to going that place for a decade and just getting tanked, getting spun, getting torn over. Just mate, I've had horrendous times. They make cups, leagues, whatever you want to say. I've watched a man in Steven Gerrard single-handedly take my team apart for a decade, mate, because he was just so good at what he was doing.
Do you get more jip now? Bag's gone. Do you get more jip now? Obviously, you know, because you come to prominence.
I'll be honest, the best one ever that I can remember in the last while was Jags, when Jags hit that ball and it went in the top bin. Mate, I swear to this day, I hit
never hit a ball like that in his life,
no, he doesn't even hit them in training. I hit that ball at the bar. I remember, because
went in the slow motion, didn't it?
I get stick. Now their fans spot me. I'm sat in the away end, and their fans spot me, and it's like, I can't be able to use all the language, but hey, Bellend, you've had it, you blue horrible scumbag, you've had it, and all that. And I'm like, sounds, yeah, nice one, lad, and all that. Mate, when Jags hit that ball that day, I ran down that front and I was going, come on, mate, I looked like one of them stupid lunatics off them films.
He talks about the stick he gets, like, try playing on the wing for Liverpool, like, oh man.
Do you come inside a little bit?
You get everything thrown at you.
I take my hat off to them.
All hands get thrown at you.
I take my hat off to them, how they put up with that. I always speak to the lads.
You got a blanket, and every now and again you got to give a little bit back.
Yeah.
But,
it's wrong, I think. I do think that part's disgusting. You shouldn't be insulted. The things that get said to you, don't get me wrong. I understand we're having a bit of banter.
Some of the, like he was saying, some of the things that get said to you, they're like, you just go over.
Below the belt.
Like, I don't mind. Like,
bit of banter.
Some things that are terrible.
Yeah.
But
I used to laugh.
The worst comes out in that game. That's what happens. What it does to people.
It does, mate.
I can't tell you what it's like.
Where you put your money then?
He's nicked it, to be fair.
4-0.
He's nicked it, to be fair. I'd go for 1-1. I mean, obviously I can't go for the same result. I'm going to go, there's goals in the game, so I don't say a 0-0.
Can't be.
I just think with the bounce and the new manager and the lift Everton have got, good results recently, they'll be really looking forward to it. They're going as a massive underdogs, which is something always plays its part for Everton.
He's on the fence. He's on the fence.
I know, we're going into this like in unbelievable form. We are. I just think it'll be a scruffy game. I think Sam will manage it where they kick them and they waste time, and it'll go If we score early, it could be anything, but I don't think we will. I just think you'll be
That's the biggest one.
So,
If Liverpool get an early goal.
I'll tell you what, I'll go for the 2-1 Liverpool and we'll nick it late again. Sorry to break your heart again. Sturridge, spring start. Remember he's done it? Was it last season?
Yeah, mate, he's done it. I don't think we've had a close one for how many years now, to be fair, so I don't know when or how a derby's been. I'm trying to think. Was it Mane? No, that was a Goodison when he done that horrible thing to us. I was away on holiday and Merseyside have to be.
Oh, they say nurses have got it tough.
So you see where like there's events in your life, like, and you remember where you are, and that. You notice how he's always remembered where he is when he gets beat.
Mauritius.
I was in Mauritius.
That's the first derby I've missed in about, I think, 10 years, and I was away because I'd just beat Hay, and I went on straight on holiday after a week of media and press. I went on holiday with the kids and that, and I just missed the derby.
I do remember that.
I was celebrating. Mane scored pretty late on, made horrible man. Another one, you know what I mean? Anyone who's got that kid.
Oh, yeah, he's quite a nice bloke.
You'll be playing for the weekend.
So we're going 1-1. 2-1.
I'm praying for 1-1.
Can we have a handshake?
Of course.
May the best man win. You can check out all the latest odds at betsafe.com. And remember, you've got to be in it to win it.
May the best man not win, by the way.